The honoree from the College of Business Administration is Michael J. Brenner. As an undergraduate student, Mike Brenner majored in accounting and graduated summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree from our College of Business Administration. He later earned an MBA from the University of Michigan. So, according to College Choice magazine, Mike holds degrees from both the best public and the best private business schools in this state. Equipped with that education, Mike went to work for the accounting firm of Coopers & Lybrand, a forerunner of PricewaterhouseCoopers. In his 3 decades there, Mike held a variety of positions. He was a general practice partner, specializing in services to clients in the real estate industry. He then served as chairman of the firm's National Real Estate Industry Group. He was managing partner of the Detroit offices and managing partner of the firm's industry programs and client satisfaction initiatives. In 1996, Mike joined the Related Companies, a real estate conglomerate that develops, manages, and invests in residential, commercial, office, and mixed-use real estate projects in major American cities and in several overseas markets. Now, just to give you a sense of the magnitude of this business, the company's Hudson Yards project in New York is reported to be the largest private development in U.S. history. And within the Related Companies, Mike serves as a director, as the executive vice president, and as chief financial officer. He's responsible for the accounting, treasury, information systems, risk management, and human resources functions. You know, it's kind of hard to see why they need anyone else. In addition, he has served as an advisor to American Mortgage Acceptance Company, as president and CEO of Related Independent Associates, as a director of Government Assisted Properties Incorporated, director of Aegis Realty, managing trustee of Charter Mac, and board member of Equinox Holdings, among his other professional roles. But Mike receives this Spirit Award tonight not merely for his professional accomplishments, but also because he has exemplified the Jesuit and Mercy mission by giving back. His extensive community outreach includes serving as vice chairman of the Greater Detroit Chamber of Commerce, chairman of the Detroit Urban League, chairman of the Greater Detroit Windsor Japan American Society, and chairman of the accounting committee of the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts, as well as serving on the finance committee for St. Vincent's Catholic Medical Center. Mike and his wife Sophia reside in New York City, home of the Related Companies, and also home to some other famous real estate moguls. But Mike has remained loyal to Detroit and his alma mater, Detroit Mercy. He's been a member of our Alumni Association Board and the President's Cabinet. He currently serves on the College of Business Administration's Board of Advisors, and in fact was one of the founding members of that board. For the college's Alumni Week in 2008, he delivered the keynote address entitled Success, What It Means and How to Achieve It. Certainly a topic that Mike knows as well as anyone. A faithful alumnus and generous benefactor of the college and the university, Mike received the university's Tower Award in 1990 and was inducted into the college's Hall of Honor in 2010. It gives me great pleasure to invite Mike Brenner to the stage to accept this award.
Dr. Garibaldi, Dr. Eisenhower, thank you for this award. I'm truly grateful for being recognized by the University of Detroit, and anything that I've accomplished in life is in no small measure due to the experiences and the education that I got at the University of Detroit. I want to thank a number of people. First of all, I want to thank my parents, Fred and Marion Brenner. It was about 50 years ago that I was in this room. There was an honors convocation, and they were here, and then I graduated a couple days later. And they were great role models. And I always, as I go through my life, I always say, you don't want to do anything to disappoint your parents. So hopefully I haven't disappointed them. I'd also like to recognize family members that are here. My wife, Sophia, you make me a better person. My children, Renee and Bill, and my daughter-in-law, Jennifer. My brother, Fred, and his wife, Helen Jo. And then my grandchildren, Michaela, Adam, who's a student at UAD Jesuit High. Ella and Evelyn. So as I think back on my life and my education at the University of Detroit, I think, what are the things that were really important and what affected my life? I mean, some people start out and they say, in 50 years, this is where I want to be, or I have a 25-year plan. I don't think I had anything like that. When I came to the University of Detroit, I thought I wanted to be a tax lawyer. So I took some accounting courses, did okay. I thought they were easy. And I found out what accountants actually did and decided maybe I'd pursue that as a career. But I think in addition to the great education, the things that are important are the other opportunities that you get. And going to the right school where you get those opportunities can make a big difference in your life. So at the University of Detroit, I came from a high school that had 93 students in it, and went to the seminary for 3 years, and I think the largest class I was in had 32 students. So coming to the University of Detroit was really the big time. But I got an opportunity to do things of leadership. For example, I was the treasurer of the last homecoming for football that the school ever had in 1964. Proud to say that the homecoming operation actually made money that year. Not much, but a little bit. I was the secretary of the Interfraternity Council and involved in student government and a number of other activities. I think the other thing that was important was the alumni relations and the networking and the connections that you get in any organization that you're involved with. And one of the alums of the university was the head of recruiting at what was then known as Lybrand Ross Brothers in Montgomery. It became Coopers and Lybrand and PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's hard to keep track of all that stuff. But I was in my senior year. I had 10 hours to go my last semester. I thought maybe I'd like to work or get my own internship. So I got a job at Lybrand Ross Brothers in Montgomery and worked on a project where we were doing tax returns for 525 Ford dealer development dealerships. I was on the audit side of things putting these together, and there was a colleague in the tax department by the name of Steve Ross, who I met, and we worked on this together, and he did reviews, and then I went off to graduate school and came back, and he had left and gone to New York to begin his career in New York. And I had a wonderful career at Coopers and Lybrand, 29 years, always getting an opportunity to do different things. I always felt like I was challenged. And one of the things that I thought in life is that if you always do a great job at the opportunities and the tasks that you have and do at least what's expected and probably more than expected, you're always going to get some opportunities. And I learned that at the University of Detroit, learned it throughout life, and it's worked out well. So after 29 years with Coopers and Lybrand, I got an opportunity to go to work for what was then a relatively small and unknown real estate company called the Related Companies, led by a fellow by the name of Steve Ross. So at that time, we had about 500 people in the company. There were 95 in the main office and about 400 people at different sites around the country, or mostly in the Northeast. And then we got an opportunity to do some rather significant projects, Time Warner Center, and then the opportunities expanded where today we've got 3,500 people in the company. We've done major projects in New York, Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Abu Dhabi. We've got a couple major projects underway in London, and as Joe mentioned, a project called Hudson Yards, where we're doing a $26 billion project in New York. So throughout all of this, it's been, you don't do this without the foundation that you get at a school like the University of Detroit. And so, as I said at the beginning, I will always be eternally grateful for the great opportunity that I was given here, the great education, and the wonderful people I've met. Thank you.